You're listening to LVB Podcast Show with your friend, advocate, and host, Alvaro.
Hello and welcome to LVB Show. My name is Alvaro and I'm very happy to be with you tonight. So before I introduce our guests, I want to say thank you so much for listening to the show from the great state of Texas, from New York City, where I have a lot of friends. Well, in Texas I do have a lot of friends as well, and everywhere else in the United States and all around the world. Before I say more, let me give you my email. If you want to be on the show, you can email me at lowvisionbureau@gmail.com. So, tonight, the podcast is going to be dedicated to the 54th annual National White Cane Day in San Antonio, Texas. So we have with us Julie Rondan and José Martinez. So please introduce yourselves.
Well, like you said, I'm Julie Rondan. I live here in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm a very dedicated volunteer to the visually impaired and blind community, and just finished school, so I'm excited about that. So I'm visually impaired, have been since I was born, and have other family members that are visually impaired too as well. And that's simple. To sum it up, I don't want to take up too much time, so go ahead, Jose.
Well, my name is José Martinez. I am also visually impaired. I have retinitis pigmentosa. I've had that pretty much all my life. I am here from San Antonio, Texas, and I am a technology trainer. So, and also have served in various organizations, either throughout the state or here locally. So, also pretty not as involved as Julie is, but also pretty involved in the low vision community here in San Antonio.
Very interesting, my friends. So, let's get into it. Please, Julie, tell us about this wonderful event.
Well, this event, I would have to say I just have to do just a short story of how I got involved with got involved with White Cane Safety Day, as being part of the committee here in San Antonio, but also just being a participant in my own local event. I want to say back in 2014 was the first time I even heard of White Cane Safety Day. I didn't even know what that was, and I didn't even know that we had that in our hometown. So I attended, like I said, back in 2014. So I was very excited that we had that, and just very excited because that's where you can network, meet other people as well, and just hear all about the day, what the day is, and of course, it's our independent and things like that. So. And then, since I have been a member to different chapters, to organizations that are geared to the visually impaired and blind, invited to represent the organization and be a part of the White Cane Committee. And so that's where I start. So every year I've been I attend our White Cane Safety Day. There was one time I did attend the Austin White Cane Safety Day, their event. So wanted to see, how they celebrate and meet other people there too and connect. So it's a great event, and I like, for everyone to hear about what San Antonio has, what kinds of events they have to people with vision loss or blindness. And so that's just my backstory there.
Great. And before Julie tell us about the event, Jose, why did you become interested in this White Cane Day?
Well, I came interested when I started volunteering with the committee as well, with the White Cane Day committee, and started helping out and assisting in any way that I could there. And it there wasn't one until this committee got formed. There really wasn't a celebration happening here in San Antonio. The closest one we had was in Austin, and then Austin being the capital of Texas, they really go all out and really do a great a great event, and it's really involved and everything. And so in San Antonio, I think this committee set out to have something, and then eventually grow and continue to grow, and that's what it's done throughout the years. So I've helped out in any way that I could in assisting that happens here in San Antonio.
So Julie, tell us about the event. What is the date of the event, and what can people expect there?
So I do want to say too, while Martinez was talking, was that each year that I've attended, since 2014, I don't know, Jose, even before then, do you know how long ago here in San Antonio our White Cane Safety Day has celebrated?
With this committee, I'm not sure if it was far before then. I mean, it probably started then. We have to check in on that, but yeah. Okay. So, like you said, I attended back in 2014, and you know me, I get excited when I meet other people. So, I was just excited just to be there and to know about it, and so this year, and then also around Texas too, like Dallas, they will have their own too as well. Austin, Houston, and so the White Cane Safety Day is actually on October 15th. So different places have on different days or times or whatever, but we're actually having it on October 15th. It's a Monday, and it's at 11 o'clock at Travis Park downtown. And so they will have. And just step in, Jose, on correct me if I'm wrong on anything, but we'll have different vendors, on, as far as organization coming out and setting up their tables and having, informational tables out there, organizations, geared towards individuals with vision loss or blindness, out there promoting their organization or business or something. And then they also too, and last year I had the privilege of honoring the San Antonio Museum of Art. So every year they also have they choose an organization that they honor in helping individuals with vision loss and blindness. Right, and this year, Morgan's Wonderland, which is a one-of-a-kind park I'll say for sure in the nation. I don't know about the world, but it's they're going to be honored for doing, things or for making. I would say, well, it would be for doing things for the blind as well. So they are going to be honored, as well as the Madison High School program, where they work with guide dogs in, raising them and things like that. So every year somebody else, some other organization gets chosen, and they're also represented out there at the event. So we're also really focusing on trying to get as many people involved and to come out because ultimately at the end of the day, this is a celebration of the White Cane Day, and what the cane does for you and as a blind person. So we should be celebrating that. And so we're also going to have some activities for kids. We're going to have the beatball team out there, the local beatball team, to promote the sport and also to have the kids, try out and things like that and try hitting the ball and listen what a beatball is. Also, the go ball team will be out there represented. And various things like arts and crafts and things like that, along with what Julie was mentioning with other organizations, just to pass out information for adults or people who are interested, who are newly blind or anything like that they might want to find out, about what certain organizations could offer them. They'll be out there. So yeah, it's a little bit about it.
Jose, I have a question. For those who have never been in these events, how does it work? How does it begin? What does people do? How do they participate?
So the structure of this, and I believe the White Cane Days, they could be a little different. But for this structure, we do have around 11 a.m. We do get started with presentations, and that lasts for about, I would say, around 45 minutes or so. And so the different organizations that are going to be honored go up and they accept their award. And then from there, we have an opportunity where the park is there available, and all the organizations are set up around the park. And so people can walk around and visit with those organizations, take pictures. There's different companies that bring like their mascots and things like that. Like I think the local bus system, Via, is going to have their mascot there, and you can take pictures with them. So we try each and every year. It's gotten bigger. I think this year definitely is going to be the biggest one we've done, and so that's really what you get. You get about an hour and a half to just hang out and as Julie was mentioning, connect with other blind people or different organizations that you might be interested in finding out information about, or just to check out what a beat ball is, or feel a goal ball and stuff like that. So
it's interesting because I have played beep baseball in New York City, and for our listeners, it's very nice. I have to say, I was very tired at the end because it's not so easy when you have a lot of things to do in your life, and someone says, okay, go play beep baseball, and you say, okay, this is going to be interesting, but then you have to really hit the ball and run and everything. So it's real baseball for you. So it's powerful. I really like it. I have to say, who invite me actually works in, I think, an organization that maybe is doing something at this event. The Lighthouse maybe is doing something at this event.
Yeah, the Lighthouse is one of the, if not one of the founding organizations that they really put this committee, this particular committee together, and they put a lot of effort into making this event a success each and every year. So the San Antonio Lighthouse is definitely going to be represented there.
Well, for our listeners, two things. So, this person that probably is listening to the show right now, Ed Plumacher, works at the Lighthouse in New York City. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know beat baseball. And I have to say for our listeners that right this time, I think it's about 8 years already that I bought my cane, Mr. Magoo, in. Well, I mean, that's the name.
All right, okay.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you said it. I mean, it's a great name. People in the U.S. knows my cane as Mr. Magoo. And so, for our listeners, I bought it at the Lighthouse in New York City. And it's very exciting to tell this story because it really says what Jose and Julie are here for, and is to celebrate the importance and value that the white cane gives us, blind and visually impaired people. And so I'm very grateful to the Lighthouse. It has been such a powerful cane. It has been 8 years, and I still have it. So
wow, I've gone through 3 canes already.
Yeah, well,
in 3 years.
What can I say, my friends? It was a wonderful product. So I cannot emphasize enough the importance of having our white cane with us, because it's about independence, it's about respect, it's about dignity, and it's about understanding what we need. And also, it's going to tell other people who we are and how they can help us better.
Exactly.
Right.
And so, yeah, say.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is that, like you were saying, it's identifying, and understanding. We're making sure people understand that, hey, I'm going to do things differently, but I'm going to get them done, And
yes.
And that's very important. You put in, aside from keeping, also safe, it's safety,
right.
And letting you know when a step is coming or something like that. But it's also important to, if you're going to cross the street or if you're asking for directions, so people aren't like, why are you doing this? Why are you asking? Yeah. It's right there. If you have your cane, then they're going to know, hey, I need to make sure that, I am, that I give correct directions, or that I use this or I use that, So yeah, that's very important.
And you talk in the sense of being safe and letting others know, being aware. Like for me, a recent one, as far as independence, it's just freeing just to be able to do things on your own. And I know for me, recently went to the movies with my daughter, and for me, just like Martinez has retinitis pigmentosa, which I do too, is that in the movie theater, it's pitch dark, so I cannot see at all in there. And for me to be able to take my daughter to the bathroom is a huge deal to me, because I don't have to, tell my husband, oh, you take her, or somebody else, I could take her myself. And just doing that feels very freeing to do that. And I couldn't do that without my cane. For me, I need my cane. I really do, in order to be independent and navigate on my own and be able to function in my environment, whatever it is. And so just doing that was a huge deal to me.
Julie,
so that's what... Mm-hmm.
That's very important what you're saying for our listeners. I traveled from Colombia to the United States always alone, and always with Mr. Magoo with me. It's funny, one day I was at the airport and I said to someone, where is Mr. Magoo? And so the person said, what? And I said, no, I mean my cane. Okay. Because, that was a little bit confusing for our listeners. But my point is, I travel to New York City alone always. And I have worked in New York, and always my cane has been my best friend. And I have to say that for our listeners, something important is that, and I'm helping some people understand that when you have low vision, when you're losing your sight, part of the process of accepting your situation, your disability, and adapting to that new situation is to have your cane with you, because that's going to give you power, that's going to give you a lot of self-confidence, and it's going to give you the independence you need, and also it's going to ensure you're going to be okay, you're going to be safe no matter where you go. Because I have to say, I know people that travel everywhere in this planet, including Africa, Asia, and they go with their cane, they are fine. So it's a must for our listeners, I have to say. And friends, before I let you go, I love food, and I know you do too. And I mean, everybody does, right? So tell us about the food we're going to find in that event.
Oh, wow.
Oops.
Expecting that.
Yeah.
Well, the food that you can find is, so there's, let's see, there's probably little taco stands or something at the corners.
It's in downtown, so it wouldn't be far to, right next to it. There might be some restaurants and things like that. Unfortunately, at this time, during the event, there is no, at the event itself, there won't be any food, but it is downtown San Antonio, so it's definitely a good spot to find some good food.
But there will be good music by the Lighthouse Choir, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
There will be good music by the choir, and then also we will have a student from Incarnate Word also singing the national anthem there. Her name is Karina Lago.
Oh.
And she's
Awesome.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my last question for our listeners is something that I marched at the first Disability Pride Parade in the history of New York City, and after the event, we were like, okay, now how do we get home? And that's a good question, my friends, because sometimes transportation can be a little bit complicated. So I want to make sure our listeners understand what kind of transportation system do you have in San Antonio after the event and before the event to get there?
So, like I said, we work with VIA. VIA's part of and VIA's the bus system. They're part of this committee as well. We feel that would be very important to have because of this situation, because we would have a large population or blindness related population coming to a specific spot, and so Via Trans will be used there, which is a paratransit, and they'll have assistance there. And then also, again, it is downtown. There's a lot of buses that stop, public buses that stop right at this park. So that would be also another option to utilize.
So this is a free event, right?
Yes, totally free.
Yep.
How exciting is that for our listeners? And also, you're going to have a lot to eat close to this wonderful event, which is very good because people get hungry after such an exciting event. So it's going to be great. So
you can use our cane, or the excitement that we get by using our cane, we can use it to get to the nearest restaurant. So yes.
We can tap away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We're going to do that.
That's I love this sense of humor that we all three share for our listeners. The right attitude, Jose, right? Yeah, that's the right attitude. And Jose and Julie, it's such a privilege to be able to talk to you about such an important event. And I would like to know, how can people get in touch with you guys to talk more about this event, how to get involved, etc.?
The White Cane Safety Day in San Antonio, Texas has their own Facebook page. So they can search White Cane I just had it up on my computer so I could tell you. They can search White Cane Safety Day, SATX. And so there's the information on their on their Facebook page. And then also we have the Low Vision Resource Center, and they have their own Facebook page, and it's a resource center, so they post events that are happening locally here in San Antonio. I don't know how else, Martinez, is there?
No, that would be the best way to get to get that information. And also the San Antonio Lighthouse, you can follow them on Facebook as well. That is the best way to get a hold of us, and if you have any suggestions or comments, or if you just want to find out about more information about the event, that'll be the avenue to do that.
Well, my friends, it's been wonderful to have you on the show. Please, listeners, go to San Antonio, eat a lot of food, and go to this event. Thank you so much, my friends, for being here with us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
My pleasure, and with this excitement, I have to say goodbye, everybody.